All right. Well, good morning, dear ones. We are SOTU, and this is SOTUesday for March the 7th, 2017. And we would like to inform you, those of you that are not paying attention to us very much, you will see that we are now dividing these videos into two different segments. One is called Conversations with SOTU, and they will tend to be a half an hour or so long, based upon a TV series we are presenting at the local community TV station. It's going to give the dynamics of the basics of our work, and the two we have done so far include a dynamic of the history of the species in a metaphorical sense, and the second one, which we posted yesterday, is more along the lines of how the dynamics of reality and today's realities are playing out and why they're playing out in the way they are in your world, a more in-depth dynamic. And so we wish to use these SOTUesdays as a reflection more of the dynamics of what are going on in the moment, in the week or so that is, and will transpire. You might say a dynamic of reflections of the past week, and what shall we say, prognostications of the upcoming week. Being the 7th, there are many in your world that are predicting that the Ides of March are going to be quite dire for very many, and we would suggest to you that many in your world are feeling the dynamics of strain and the dynamics of the chaos that is increasing, because you have a dynamic here that's presenting itself in your world, certainly as well, what shall we say, those that are involved that are for the dynamics of your president and anti the dynamics of your president. And so the dynamics of polarization that are happening and the dynamics of separation that are occurring within that dynamic, because we understand there is now more and more violence beginning to break out, and we have to tell you, dear ones, you're playing right into the dynamics of their hands. You are being faced energetically with an emotional situation that is asking you to step beyond the dynamics of your adolescent, beyond the dynamics of simple reptilian reaction to things, and begin to utilize and begin to understand that there are no angels here, just as there are no demons here. There are everyone in the dynamics, no matter how evil or how good you judge them to be, are simply a mixed bag, and each one of them is a product of their environment, and each one of them are playing their roles in their journey, of their soul's journey through the dynamics of life, and each one of them plays an integral part in the reflection of your reality. Each one of them offers you a different opportunity to be more than you are right now. And that is what you're being asked, dear ones. Step out of the black and white. Step out of the either or. Step out of the dynamics of them and us, and realize that, in fact, you can bridge your differences, that you can find a way beyond the dynamics of competition and comparison, beyond the dynamics of either or. See the dynamics, see the reflections of the presentations. The patriarchal masculine is being attacked on every front. The feminine is presenting a dynamic of fractionalization and disempowerment. As much as so many of you think that you are making a difference, in fact, you are allowing yourselves to be led, as we said a few weeks ago, down a primrose path. It looks really pretty from here. It feels really good to speak your mind, to have the empowerment of so many others standing behind you. And yet, have you found common ground, even with each other? Are you of the understanding and the realization that you and your attitude are being reflected within the dynamics of the chaos that you are seeing every day? Are you blindly going forward with a certain dynamic of belief? No matter what side of this coin you are on, we ask you, we implore you to be willing to examine your own beliefs, dear ones. For this is presenting itself as a paradox of energy where you view one side as good and one side as evil. And dear ones, we wish to tell you that each side sees themselves as good. After having had so many years of being manipulated, are you going to stand in your truth? Are you going to be willing to question your truth? Because, dear ones, you cannot stand on it unless you are willing to question it. So much in your world is presenting itself as adolescent, as black or white, as good or evil. And your frustration and your anger and your rage are being used against you. If you realize that, and you begin to move that more toward the reasoning part of your mind, rather than simply react to things, simply repeat what you've heard from others, your thoughts, your words, and your feelings shape the dynamic of your reality. Your thoughts, your words, and your feelings reflect the dynamic of movement. You are being asked to be more than you are right now. You're being asked to take a stand for humanity, to realize that in the dynamics of paradox, there are truth and there are lies on both sides. Take the time, take the energy, have the courage to see what in your own position are the truths and the lies. Be willing to look at the other side with objectivity, without the dynamic of judgment, and find out the truth and the lies. And when you can see the truth and the lies in both dynamics simultaneously, you will rise to a third position, a place of objectivity, a place that begins a foundation of finding the truth for you, the truth that unlocks your heart, the truth that puts you on your the path of your soul's path, the path that you decided to follow upon incarnation in this lifetime. So now as you reach the crossroads, again you are being asked, through the reflections of your reality, to find the truth, to resolve the paradox, to be able to rise above to that position of objectivity that will eventually lead some of you to mastery. We are SOTU, and we love you all so very, very much. We hope we have given you something to think about. So until next Tuesday, we love you all, and we will close sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy.